arriving at Keele Station.
Everyone, it is Monday, September 25th. The time is 3:37 p.m. and I am here on the city's west end at Keele Station. And I think the temperature outside is around 21 degrees Celsius. And for this one, I'll be making my way down to Bloor Street. And then I'll be walking east over towards Ossington Station. And that's a walk that should span about 5 subway stations, I think. Keele here, then we'll be going by Dundas West, then Lansdowne, and then Dufferin. And then finally Ossington. There's a number of bus bays here for the 80 bus, the 41, and the 89. I think the last time I recorded a walk in this area was back in December. Although I've done a few bike and scooter streams since then that have passed through here. And a few live streams, I believe. And this here is Keele Street. Which, not too far north of here, will cut through the heart of the Junction neighborhood. There's Bloor Street, and just on the southwest corner is High Park. So this one should be about 3 kilometers in length, and according to Google Maps, it will take around 42 minutes or so. I'm not sure if there's a BIA or neighborhood name for this stretch. I know the neighborhood north of Bloor here is called West Bend. I think that sign there says Bloor by the Park. Sometimes you'll see the name of the BIA on various street signs, so we'll take a look and see if we can see that. Here's a very suburban style strip mall. And I was reading the other day that there are plans to build a 19-story condo where this Tim Hortons is. At least that's been proposed. And that's the subway station carrying over the street here. But that'll be wedged on this small lot here. And the proposed design uses brick that kind of matches this apartment building here. All right, some not so pleasant words written on that notice. And this is the third official day of fall. There's the St. Joan of Arc Catholic Church across the street. Toronto Central Local Health Integration Network. On the left here, it used to be a Midas, which was a big auto repair garage, and on the back was an iconic landmark in the area that was known as the Keele Wall. And for 3 decades, it featured various murals and artwork by local artists on the back facing the subway. We actually got a view from the subway of where the Keele Wall used to be as I rolled by at the start of this video. But the developer Mattamy is building a 12-story building in that spot. There's still some graffiti around where the Keele Wall used to be. There's the train tracks right there. And after this video, I'm planning on breaking out the new iPhone 15 Pro and trying my first live stream with it. Andrea's cookies. They are not open. There's an interesting frontage for Bloor Street. I really think streets like this should be lined with primarily retail. I think the Lithuanian Banquet Hall should be coming up on the right. That's a large event space. It's also where I had to go write CIP exams back in the early 2000s when I was working for an insurance company. I remember debating whether or not I should do the metered parking on the street here or park on a side street. And the landscaping in front of this variety store is pretty neat. Yorgos the Cobbler. There's the Lithuanian Banquet Halls. I think it says halls as there are 3 spaces there. I I think it serves primarily as an event venue, and you can rent a spot if you want.
Getting all these jobs on the spot.
And we are approaching what I strongly believe is the ugliest intersection in the city. Bike Pirates. DIY bicycle workspace. Visit bikepirates.com or their Facebook page. We will teach you how to fix your bike. We will not fix it for you. I think there's a few places like that around the city. It's a neat concept. It's refreshing to see a business that isn't based on repeat business. They're actually trying to get you to be self-sufficient and say, stop coming to places like this. And here we go, Dundas West. It's called Dundas West, but for this stretch it runs north-south. It bends north from College Street and it runs up into the junction. And then it runs parallel to Bloor Street and it'll head west all the way over to Etobicoke, and then it'll bend down south. And once again, be below Bloor Street here. But this building's days are numbered. Dundas West Station is just north of here. There's the Crossways apartment buildings, which do not have the best reputation. You can also access the Go and Up Express station just to the north, but one of the reasons I call this the ugliest intersection in the city is there's that high school there, which isn't really that offensive. But this building over here, you have retail on the main floor, a small office podium, and then an apartment building stacked on top. And right across from that monstrosity, you have the Giraffe building here. And you have this apartment complex on the left. Which doesn't exactly have a pleasant street frontage. Oh, the Bond pub is gone. And it's not uncommon to see people with luggage making this hike as they're coming from the Up Express station, where you can catch a train to and from Pearson Airport. But for reasons beyond me, there is no connection to Dundas West Station, even though they're literally right across the street from one another. So you'll see people making the hike from one to the other. Which isn't so bad now, but in the thick of winter, I'm sure it can be quite annoying. And these are the rail tracks just up ahead. Once I cross those, I'll be in an area known as the Junction Triangle. Also heading under the West Toronto Rail Path, which I believe is closed for this stretch. It's a 2-kilometer linear park built on an old abandoned rail line. And it ends right around College Street, but there are plans to extend it south. where you could enter the station. Oh, speaking of Up Express, there we go. Making its way from Union Station with a few stops en route to the airport. Metrolinx is currently adding a 4th rail line to that station, hence the closure of the West Toronto Rail Path. And I don't think this area has ever been not under construction since the bike lanes opened up in 2000. It's always been a mess going through there. So the next subway station I'll be walking past is Lansdowne, and Dufferin, then Ossington. Bottle shop and takeout. The Gaslight. Martin Espresso Bar. These are the kind of businesses that I think are the lifeblood of the city. Whenever an area gentrifies, it's always good to see the local businesses stick around and new ones pop up as opposed to just corporate chain stores. Again, here's some awful street frontage right along a major street. But to wonder if that guy was aware if there was a bike lane or not. Like, why the hell would you ever be on the sidewalk there? I think this should be retail here. It really sucks the street life out of the area. It's kind of void of any character. I guess those idiots decided it was better to ride on the sidewalk than with traffic here. When I get to the other side of this rail track here, we'll be out of the junction triangle. I get why they might not want to share this space with vehicles. It's not really moving fast, and they don't always leave enough room to squeeze by. But if you must, get off your bike and walk it on the sidewalk. There's someone doing the right thing. Thank you for walking your bike. Everyone else is riding. Anyways, I've grumbled about that enough. There's where I wouldn't stop off and have a cold beverage on a nice day like this. Welcome Honey Royal Jelly Propolis Pollen. I have no idea what I just read. Remember when this went in a few years ago? It's kind of an interesting mural. And coming up is Bloor and Lansdowne. And this is where you'll find Lansdowne Station. It's also an area known as Bloordale Village, which runs between here and Dufferin. You'll notice it's a bit livelier from here on out. And South Station is just to the north. I think that car honked at me for some reason. I assure you, I am not walking slow, although the stabilized footage can appear that way. I actually think this is a great neighborhood. So many independent businesses. This place called Lucky Tiger Vintage. Got the bike lanes. There's some good watering holes as well in this area. We'll be walking by a few of those. Happy Cup Bar and Restaurant. There's the pole dancing and fitness studio. And next stop will be Dufferin Station.
Let's go for a little rip. I can use that. Need some help.
Duffy's Tavern. Can't say I've ever been there. There's a big high school coming up just on the right. Well, there was Bloor Collegiate. That's been torn down. And its replacement is being built, and all those students were relocated, well, east of here over at Bathurst at Central Tech School. So I think around this time there'd normally be a lot more students roaming around these streets. There's a festival in the summer here called Big on Bloor, so I guess I have recorded through this area since. I went to the Burdock and I had a meal and a really refreshing cold beverage. There's a neat hipster dive bar across the street called 3 Speed. Next to Island Oysters. There's where Bloor Collegiate used to be. And I guess will soon be once again. And here's the Burdock on the left. Good food, fresh bread, fun snacks. The John and Out Vibe Experience. Looks like they have board games in there. Quarter leg dinner with fries, $10. And an entrance to Dufferin Station. So from Bloordale Village to Bloor Court Village, coming up between Dufferin and just west or just east of Ossington. And just south of here is Dufferin Mall. And we are at Dufferin Street. It's not uncommon to see a DJ right there where that sign says Bloordale. And just on the right is the old Gladstone Library branch that opened back in 1913. Yeah, I've seen these places popping up. Comey Banh Mi Bar. I ordered a vermicelli from their Danforth location a few weeks ago. And they've got a A&W and Popeyes over there. And just over here is a Taco Bell opening. And it doesn't look like it's going to be half KFC. It looks like it's just going to be a dedicated Taco Bell. I think it's a desk. It's kind of set up like a ramp. So I went by this on a weekday morning, or I think late morning or early afternoon a few weeks ago in the other direction. I started near Yonge and Dundas, or Yonge and Bloor. And I went west along the stretch of Bloor and an e-scooter all the way to the Kingsway neighborhood. You can find that on the channel. It was posted not too long ago. And at this time of day, I definitely prefer to be walking east, because if I'm walking west,
I'm in the neighborhood.
the exposure isn't nearly as good as I'm walking straight into that sun. I have never actually been to a Gus Tacos. Zoinks, music and books. I wonder if that name is Scooby-Doo inspired. And playing at the Paradise is Sleaze Factory presents Body Double. Let's look at some of the programming. It's great to see an old theater still utilized. And the neighborhood just to the north of here is known as Dovercourt Park. And it is 4:11, and I set my live stream for 4:30, so I'm making okay time. This used to be one of those excess cargo clearance kind of places. If you ever wondered where all your returns ended up, often at a store like that. And you may have heard me refer to Little Ethiopia over on Danforth Avenue, which is east of Bloor Street, just east of Greenwood Avenue. Well, this area also has a pretty strong Ethiopian presence, and there's a number of restaurants that serve that kind of cuisine here as well. There's Long and McQuaid, a very popular music instrument shop. They've got another location over on the east side of downtown. And we're a few blocks away from Ossington. Look north up Concord Avenue. Most of these residential streets north and south of Bloor here are of the low density single family home kind of build.
Pay attention.
All right, we have made it to Ossington, so I hope you enjoyed this 3-kilometer walk from Keele Station, heading east along Bloor through a number of different neighborhoods in a span covering 5 subway stations in total. To Ossington Station here. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support the channel, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button here below the video if you wish to say thanks that way. There's Ossington Coffee and Bakery. I'm gonna put my stuff away and get out my streaming stuff. But thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Yoink.